for your Chicago Bulls. Starting at power forward, at 7 foot 0 inches, number 00, Myers Leonard. At the point guard position, at 6 foot 6 inches, number 2, Lonzo Ball. At the center position, 6 feet 10 inches, number 9, Nikola Vucevic. At guard, 6 foot 6, number 8, Zach LaVine. Starting at the other forward position, at 6 foot 6 inches, number 11, DeMar DeRozan. The head coach of your Chicago Bulls is Billy Donovan. That's the starting lineup for your Chicago Bulls.
Welcome aboard, everybody. This is Wednesday Night Basketball of the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by Chris Webber and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. Hey, Dave.
Good evening to you, Kevin. Patrick Williams was a 5-star recruit out of high school. Now, scoring came easily for him, but he chose Florida State to learn how to play defense. He said offense will take care of itself. It takes somebody special to sit down on defense. Stops are what win the game. And Kevin, that two-way game saw him taken 4th in the 2020 draft.
Yeah, I love his game. That was a good report, thank you. And a chance now to see how teams are faring across the league. Here's the latest edition of the Power Rankings. Taking a look at Brooklyn, they're gaining on some of the teams above them, trying hard to crack into that top 5.
Well, right now for the Pistons, they just kind of burst out of the gate here with some fire, feeling disrespected by pundits who overlooked them as a top team.
And now the opening lineup for Detroit. Grant is out there with Diallo. Then there's Isaiah Stewart. Then it's Cunningham, and it's Jordan in at the shooting guard. And for the Bulls, in the backcourt, it's Ball and Levine. Myers Leonard is out there with Vucevic, and it's DeRozan in at the 3, the small forward. And already, Greg, we're seeing some of the new wrinkles that players have added to their game.
No doubt. The work doesn't end when the season does. And if you're trying to improve your skills, or if you're trying to pack on good weight, that kind of stuff needs to get done during the offseason.
And so it's the Pistons getting on the board first. Here's Vucevic. Knocked loose, and another steal for him.
All year long, that's been his thing, just pouncing on any chance to grab a steal.
Well, GA, with that swipe, he's now tied for 3rd for most steals in a single season.
Well, to tally this many steals in a year is incredible. Tied now with Michael Ray Richardson, 3rd most steals in a season.
Ball kicks to Leonard. Rosen dishes to Levine from 12 feet out. Rebound by the Pistons. This game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
Yeah, those road games are tricky, but they had a good strategy going in and stuck to what they do best.
Well, staying with your game plan is so important, especially when you are away from your home arena.
And they're bringing you up close and personal on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Here's DeRozan, and blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. He swipes the ball away again.
And he creeps towards greatness with every steal he makes.
He has climbed his way up to the 3rd highest steal numbers ever in an NBA season. Amazing.
Well, he has passed Michael Ray Richardson's mark of 265 steals. That's set back in 1980. What a defensive juggernaut he's been all year long.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. This game coming after a loss against the Bucks.
Scoring efficiency was an issue in that one. Took them too many shots to get their points.
They had a hard time taking the lid off the basket. Their offense just looked flat.
Still looking like they're getting going. It's a 10-point game. First chance of the season for them to go up against this Pistons team.
And they swept the season series against them last year. They really did have the upper hand.
And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession.
Bulls ball.
Marvin Bagley's checked in for the Pistons.
For the Pistons, Marvin Bagley III.
Let's take another look at the staunch defense during that mobile one block.
And right out of the gate, trying to set the tone defensively, you gotta love that energy.
Each trip down becoming more important.
And you need to string some successful offensive possessions together and play tough D.
Solid at realizing when to take these shots. Levine's eyes light up. His passes are coming his way.
And Levine improving as a playmaker, Chris. His assist totals continue to grow.
Came into the league as a point guard. He's been a shooting guard for a long time now. And he still has strong playmaking instincts.
2 minutes.
Oh, and the jam by Jordan.
2 minutes.
I like their focus coming in. Terrific execution so far.
Going for the juggler right off the bat. I mean, jumping out to an impressive early lead.
Nabbing another steal. And that's his 6th steal of the night.
Imposing his will at the defensive end.
And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for Detroit.
They're setting the tone early with their defense, keeping the pressure on and taking chances. And they've got a bunch of steals to show for it.
And also defensively, they've been able to cause some turnovers tonight. And that also builds confidence and gives you momentum.
Takes a three. Hits it from three-point range. Jordan's got 22.
This quarter expending tremendous energy at the offensive end. He's not slowing down. He's still calling for it.
A three ball. Another three for Detroit.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
And stolen by Jordan. Over ball. Michael Jordan again. He's got 27.
Really their own worst enemy right now with all these turnovers.
And it's DeRozan with the ball for the Chicago Bulls. Levine against Bagley. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. The offensive rebound. Leonard kicks the ball. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will retain possession.
Gets a finger on it, but just can't quite come up with the steal.
Appreciate the effort, though, making his presence felt defensively.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Cody Zeller's checked in for Myers Leonard. White comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Alex Caruso in for Ball. Then for the Pistons, Pasechnik's checked in for Stewart. Redick comes in for Diallo. And it's Joseph in for Cunningham. 4 on the clock. They get a hand on it. Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Here's Jordan, and the dunk by Jordan.
Their play on both ends has been superb. We'll see if they can maintain the momentum.
Yeah, gotta be careful. It's still early. They've expended a lot of energy, but they've also built a nice cushion here.
From deep three-point range, and another three for Detroit.
Yeah, the D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been from beyond.
And another steal for him.
And you got to be careful around him.
You know, Greg, he's been coming up with some incredible steals so far.
And this offense is in a perfect rhythm. And you can see how they're finishing their plays.
Yeah, right now it feels like they can't miss. We'll see how long they can.
He swipes the ball away again.
And every swipe he comes up with inches him closer to the second spot on the most steals in a season.
Well, his defense has been historic as he marches towards second on the all-time steals list.
And Don Busey coming up with 281 steals back in 1977, a mere 4 years after they started recording steals as an official stat. Amazing to see that number being approached.
And that's it for the first quarter in what's been a very lopsided game. It's Detroit running away with it. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back. And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And Stephen Clark, Pistons pretty much in control here.
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
Yeah, they really got after it. I mean, they made life extremely difficult for the shooters, which is why they hold this lead.
And Chris with the fab. And so it's Detroit finishing the quarter up by a whopping 24 points. From the field, they have been outstanding. Amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Billy. I heard you tell the guys to take it to them and play with more physicality offensively. What did you mean?
Well, just I think when we're getting the ball inside around the basket, at times we got to go up a little bit stronger and play through the contact and go to the rim.
Tough sledding in there, but you got to get there. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Back to you.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and the Jet, Kenny Smith. Let's get to it. Right out of the gates, it was Detroit setting the tone. A smoldering performance for them early as they shut down everything defensively and were clicking on offense, going 10-0 to start. They came on extremely strong as the quarter was winding down, nailing all 6 of their last field goal attempts to close out the first. In quarter number 2, their well-earned cushion began to dissipate, but they still scored enough to go into the half up by double digits. Kenny, what's your take on Detroit so far?
Well, they built this lead in large part because of the sharpshooters off the bench. The subs played a superb game. Get it? Sub, superb. Oh, I'm rolling tonight. I mean, they played like starters.
Looking at Chicago, Shaq, your thoughts?
Well, they were playing like it was Christmas, Ernie. Giving up a lot of turnovers. There's no excuses for the turnover numbers, sloppy ball handling. They look out of control, and the execution was all over the place.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take you down to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my main man, Joel.
Joel, what up?
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. What a game we're seeing from Michael Jordan.
Well, with a double-double in hand through 2 quarters, you can just imagine what his stat line will look like at the end of this one.
Yeah, it could be one of those epic games, but we still have a long way to go.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. In the backcourt, it's Ball and Levine. Vucevic is out there with Myers Leonard, and it's DeRozan in at the small forward. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls. From deep, Jordan sinks the three-pointer.
Michael Jordan.
Jordan's got 37.
It's graceful. There's a level of dignity that Jordan has on the floor. Just so classy about everything he does.
That one falls.
It's a great move, and he catches the defense completely off guard.
You'd like to see a little more energy coming out of halftime on the defensive end.
And at times, it just feels like DeRozan is still underappreciated. Receives a lot of criticism for what he doesn't do and not enough credit for what he does. Yeah, that's 2 straight 3-pointers they've allowed.
Poked away and stolen by Jordan. Puts up a three. Another three for Detroit.
Man, the triples keep falling, guys. That's 3 in a row.
Chicago's gotten 2/3 of their three-pointers to fall tonight. They're 6 of 9 overall. And DeRozan's talked about using negative press to his advantage.
You know, he said you have to be able to take criticism if you want to be great. Use the negative energy to become something more than you thought you could be. And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. From deep, Jordan, and the three ball is good. Jordan's got 12 points here in the second half.
Yeah, this looks like...
And another steal for him.
And the thief strikes again. He's piled up so many steals this season.
And the effort has been there all year long. And now he is tied for second on the list for most steals.
And it was Don Busey in 1977 who had previously laid claim to the second most steals in a season. But he has been joined here in what has been an outstanding campaign.
Jumps up, hits it again. Wow. That gives him 51.
Making it look easy. Hey, whatever adjustments they made at halftime, they are working to perfection.
Well, the results are clear as day. Great approach coming into the third quarter. We'll see if they can keep it up.
His shot was hindered by that momentous having another steal.
Another legend leapfrogged with that steal. What a year he's had.
You're right, GA. His defense has been terrific, and now he can claim the second spot for himself for most steals.
Well, Don Busey set the mark for second most steals in a season with 281, but now over 4 decades later, that record has been passed. Amazing.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, the league remains in love with three-pointers, but DeMar DeRozan remains true to his game. He says, if I see 100 people walking left, that doesn't mean I'm going to do the same. I see this clear path and want to stay right. Shooting threes, I feel like I'm settling, whereas I think anytime I drive, I'm going to score or get fouled. Kevin, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, but DA, I love that strategy. Thanks for that story.
And one of the league's most effective shot blockers from that guard position. Jordan can do it and help defense or on the ball.
And that was another look at the aggressive D that led to the mobile one block.
And boy, did he get up quick to reject that shot. That's as fundamental as defense gets.
And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Pistons.
They based their offense around the three-point shot today, and that was the right move. It's been a huge weapon for them all game.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
On the court for the Pistons, we've got Jordan. Kevin Bagley is out there with Grant. Then there's Isaiah Stewart. And it's Cunningham in at the one spot. And three from Jordan. Connects again from distance. You can tell he is feeling it.
Kevin, he's on fire.
And here's Ball. He'll bring it up for the Chicago Bulls. And stolen by Jordan. There's the three. And again, 60 points. This guy cannot be stopped.
They've had no answer for him in this one.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Patrick Williams, he's checked in for DeRozan. Derek Jones comes in for Zach LaVine. Troy Brown's checked in for Kobe White. And it's Matt Thomas in for Lonzo Ball. Then for the Pistons, J.J. Redick's checked in for Bagley. And Hayes subbed in for Cunningham.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout. Big-time dominance. And this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Pistons.
And, guys, the fast break was run, I thought, beautifully all night by these guys. I think that was a big part of their success.
Yeah, they definitely ran the break well. A big advantage in that category. And they continually put pressure on the defense.
And it'll advance their win total up to 12 on the season.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series. And when you look back at this one, what an amazing performance this was for Michael Jordan.
Well, he was the agitator, bothering everybody with his defense, coming up with steals. I mean, making sure they were never able to get comfortable as long as he was out on the floor.
Good on the triple.
saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
That's the dagger. You could tell they wanted that.
It's just nasty.
The athleticism on that finish.
No.
They just blocked out the noise, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
Showing remarkable poise and focus throughout the game. A sustained effort across the board.
Williams finds Thomas. Good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist.
It's always great to get into a rhythm, but do it when it matters.
Yeah, it has to be frustrating to catch fire when the game is already over. I mean, this is not the outcome they want.
Good, another from three. He's really sniping them from outside.
Locked in, feeling confident in that three-point shot.
3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Nailed from three-point land.
So many of the plays they're running designed to create opportunities from deep.
You see more teams doing this nowadays. We all are firmly entrenched in the era of the three ball.
Zeller passes to Brown. Zeller inside, kicks it out to Jones. And so Detroit takes this one by a big margin. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.
A lot of people don't select Tim Duncan. I think for how great he is I was just about to say he's underrated.
Underrated.
But he's like one of the best power forwards of all time, like top 2, top 3, maybe 1.
Maybe 1.
Well, you got to say that now because you're a company man.
Maybe nah. This ain't mine.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
A beautiful skyline in the colossal Renaissance Center. We're coming to you live from the Motor City. Welcome, folks, and what better way to celebrate the end of the week? Friday night basketball on 2K Sports. Hi, everyone. This is Brian Anderson at the table along with Grant Hill and Brent Barry. Allie LaForce joins us from the sidelines. Hey, Allie.
Hey, Brian. In Julius Randle's 7th NBA season, he became an all-star. He said, I've been through a lot in the NBA, the ups, the downs. You learn to take everything in stride and have patience. My mindset doesn't change, no matter what. Every game, I try to be aggressive and make winning plays.
Oh, great story. Good stuff, Allie. Now that we're into November, let's see how the Eastern Conference standings are shaken out. And, of course, the Knicks.
Well, for the Knicks, by all accounts, the changes they made in the offseason are just not working out for them.
Yeah, lots of season left to go, so maybe a little too early to say that. The results have been anything but positive early on, but we've seen plenty of teams dig themselves out of big holes after early season woes.
And now the opening lineup for New York. Fournier, the 2, Barrett at the small forward. Inside, we have Randle and Robinson. And it's Rose in at the point. And for the Pistons, we've got Amadou Diallo, Isaiah Stewart out there with Marvin Bagley. Then it's Corey Joseph, and it's Jordan in a 2-guard. All right, Brent, early on in the year, what are you looking to see from the teams that you consider to be contenders?
Well, look at teams who are playing lesser opponents to just try and put games away as early as possible. A win in November and December means just as much as the ones that happen after the All-Star break. So the importance on that first 20-game run for a veteran team can make all the difference.
Ooh, it's stolen by Jordan. And slam dunk by Jordan.
And that's what happens when you don't take care of the ball.
Hey, that makes the turnover hurt even more.
And the gamble paying off.
Now here's Barrett. He's been a big scorer for this offense, averaging around 20 points a game. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Randle. And here's Detroit. It's a 5-point game. First chance of the season for them to go up against this Knicks team. And one big difference for Randle now, his ability to finish with the right hand.
Well, it's opened up a whole world of possibilities as teams just want him to go left. If he spins back and feels confident, he'll use that right hand to get a finish.
Rose, the pass to Barrett. Back to Rose. Clock at 6. Pass to Barrett. Out to Rose. Knocked loose. Here's Bagley. Always a nice way to start. Makes his first one. All right, guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Detroit.
Their frenetic defense has been impressive, putting ball handlers on the defensive and turning them over as well.
They've also racked up a ton of points off of turnovers so far in tonight's game.
Jordan with the bucket.
He's knocking down most everything, guys. 3 of 4 here. Jordan's
gotten 2 of his 3 shots to fall from beyond the arc. Bagley with it. Now guarded by Barrett. Lets it go. From deep, Jordan. And the Pistons, another 3.
The defense is nowhere to be found guarding the three-point shot.
The 3 is up. connects from downtown. Jordan's got 14 points.
Man, they're having a hard time defending the triple. That's 3 in a row.
And it's going to be out of bounds. New York will have another go. Let's have a look at the teams who have been shooting the ball the most consistently these past 10 games. The Pistons, number 1.
Recently, they've been effective in getting good looks. Field goal percentages are typically tied to the quality of your shots.
Now a timeout called by New York. They're moving on after a tough loss they took at the hands of the Pacers.
It's a fine line between playing with urgency and being out of control. And they crossed that line.
Well, you can do a couple things with turnovers. They committed too many, and then they didn't force enough. So a tough go in that category.
Almost an entire new group here. Gibson's checked in for Robinson. Toppin comes in for Randall. Reddish is checked in for Barrett. And quickly subbed in for Rose. Detroit on D. Nabbing another steal. And that's his 6th steal of the night.
Imposing his will at the defensive end. You gotta love it. So far, they're owning both ends of the floor. We'll see if they can keep this going.
Like tonight, all the hustle plays have meant so much to this team. Now just sustain some of that energy and keep comfortable.
There's a minute 34 left to play in the first quarter. Got a piece of it. And now the Pistons in transition. For 3. And the Pistons, another 3.
They're getting torched on the perimeter. 4 of the last 5 buckets have been threes.
Pass to Reddish. To the middle. To end the drought. And Gibson lays it in.
Gibson fighting through the contact and not taking no for an answer. Love that concentration.
Fournier against Jordan. And the Pistons, another 3.
And they've got the D reeling.
He swipes the ball away again.
The steals don't end with him, and now he has a good look at the season record.
The instincts and tenacity he's shown on the defensive end all year is awe-inspiring. Ooh, it's stolen by Jordan. Fires from deep. Oh, he is cooking right now. 10 for 11 from the field.
They've had a hard time shutting down the three-point shot.
Knocks it loose. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Jordan. Fournier finds quickly. Inside. Gibson, no good. So it's Detroit now. Well, they put up a nice win against Chicago last time out.
Yeah, they connected from outside all game. And the defense had absolutely no answer for it.
Yeah, they sapped the energy right out of the building in that one. They just were knocking down threes. And it was deflating both for the team and the crowd.
They've shown so much energy right from the start, particularly on the offensive end.
Yeah, if you walked in at any point during this game to watch 5 minutes of play, one team played harder. We know who that was.
And Reddish gets it to go.
Quick trigger from Reddish there speaks to his confidence. He just let that one fly.
And so it's the Detroit Pistons cruising into the next quarter with a 30-point advantage. It hasn't taken them too many shots to get their points. They're winning with efficiency. More 2K action in just a moment. lot of excitement around the Knicks under Coach Tom Thibodeau. All-star Julius Randle explains how he's made them better.
He genuinely cares about you as a human being, as a person. He wants to see you really excel as a player, and he knows that the only way to do that is through the grind, through hard work, through putting the hours and the effort in day after day. So that's his thing. He's going to push you in practice, push you in workouts, and he's your biggest fan when you're out there on the court.
Well, we knew how demanding Tibbs can be, Grant. Jordan's checked in for Hayes. Barrett's checked in for New York. Jeremy Grant out there with J.J. Redick. Then there's Cunningham, and it's Pasechnik's in at the 5 spot. That's the group for Detroit right now.
Down the stretch, he's been flat out awesome. He helped them get the lead, and now he's making
yet another steal from him.
His march toward history continues with that steal.
And now he's tied for the most steals in the season. You can't begin to describe his impact on defense.
Sweet to be a difference maker in the game, and he's been a great option for them on these possessions.
Substitution for your Pistons.
And so it's the Detroit Pistons, firmly in control with an impressive 28-point lead as the quarter ends. Their defense has forced a number of key turnovers, giving them a clear advantage on possessions. All right, now let's check in with Allie LaForce. Allie, what do you have?
Well, Coach, this first half has been a struggle. What's been the problem?
Lack of intensity. We're back on our heels. They're attacking us. We're not getting much done.
Guys, they'll look to be the aggressor in the second half.
Thanks very much, Allie. And, folks, we'll be right back to start the second half of this game.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back to 2K Sports, everybody. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Let's talk about that first half. Right out of the gates, it was Detroit setting the tone. Seemingly flawless as the game got underway. They were knocking down shots and playing tough defense as they went on a 13-0 run. They came on extremely strong as the quarter was winding down, nailing all 6 of their last field goal attempts to close out the first. The second quarter didn't advance their lead, but they still dominated the half overall, ending it way out in front. Kenny, what's your take on Detroit so far?
Credit these guys for coming in with the right game plan and then patiently executing. Most of their shots that come in the flow of the offense, rarely did they take a bad shot. Good, clean first half.
And Shaq, what are your thoughts on New York?
Well, their sloppy play really surprised me, especially the turnovers. No matter who they had out there, they never seemed to be on the same page. Their only hope is to make every possession count, and that means taking care of the ball.
And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. Well, at the wing position, Grant, you were one of the league's best passers. Which wing players stand out to you in that category now?
You know, I mean, it may sound arrogant of me to say this, but LeBron, Luka Doncic, guys like that who really read the floor, they understand and can pick apart defenses at any position. Those two are ones that stick out the most.
And on the floor for Tom Thibodeau as we get into the second half. Barrett plays the small forward with Randle in at the 4. Evan Fournier is out there with Derrick Rose, and it's Robinson in at the center position, filling out the middle. Jordan with the bucket.
Exactly what every offense needs. Shooters who can force the defense to extend.
No, there's no doubt he's a legitimate threat from downtown, and he's demonstrating that in this game.
That's tipped. Fournier with the ball. Guarded by Stewart. No coverage that time. Fournier's got 5 points in the quarter.
Clearly defensive miscue there. If there's not a body on him that's sitting at the mid-range, that's a defensive mistake.
And just executing at a high level. I mean, taking what the defense allows and putting in the work.
Basketball IQ is something that gets talked about, but
having another steal.
And remember that steal, folks. History has been made.
Now stands number 1 all-time for most steals in a season. A sensational year.
And the cheers of his hometown crowd bouncing from the rafters. Oh, so incredible.
Well, they understand how special he's been. The steals totals all season making news around the league.
All season long, he's just been punishing any and all mistakes that the ball handlers have made in front of him. And you don't get the historic steal totals he has without being a menace, at least defensively.
Now a chance to look at the small forwards who have been on fire all year. Fifth is R.J. Barrett.
And some of the best scorers in the league play the 3 spot. You just marvel at the talent level of this group.
I don't think in terms of offense there can be any more potent group of players in the league. Having one of them on the wing means having someone that can carry a team offensively for extended periods of time whenever necessary.